Hello everybody, my name is Tetris Fun. I welcome you back to the next collection video. I've done my anime collection. I've done the GameCube, the Nintendo 64. This time, it's the Super Nintendo! And I'm going to be going through this entire container and this one down here. So this one will probably be a little bit longer than the GameCube and 64 videos. Might be 3 parts, I'm not fully sure, but I'll try to make sure I don't talk about any game too long to the point where I won't be going rambling on and giving you a million videos. Because, like I said, this is another video in my build-up of videos to add content to my channel, so you guys have something to watch until I get all the big videos out later this year. Let's start. Obviously, right here are 2 controllers. Nothing special there, except for the fact that this one's kind of missing a select button, or I shouldn't say missing a select button, I should just basically say that the button's delved deep into the controller. Okay, so this is where we're at. This should be nothing. That's just stuff for, I think, Game Boy games. Ooh, here we go. One of my only box games I have, Tetris and Dr. Mario. I love me some Tetris, classic puzzle game, and I love Dr. Mario. I've never really played the Super Nintendo Dr. Mario, but I did grow up playing the Game Boy one a lot. Like, a lot. Let's start right here. Wayne Gretzky, NHLPA All-Stars. Like I've said in my GameCube and my 64 video, I love me some hockey games. A lot of my systems I have hockey games on. And it just so happens it's really weird that there's another one that has a Wayne Gretzky on it, because, well, obviously you know who Wayne Gretzky should be if you're a hockey fan. And it's a pretty fun, like, side... I'm trying to remember, it's not like the NHL games, like top-down, it's like more of a side view, I think. And it's a fun game. Pretty cool gameplay. You know, more of like, you know, like I said, like hockey's one sport, I could pretty much play simulation-based games, too. We got the Mega Man X, the classic game, you know, the first Mega Man X, you know, platforming, shooting lemons, you know, stuff like that. If you've ever seen Ego Raptor's sequelitis. Yeah, it's a fun game. Back when Mega Man was still, you know, used, Capcom, you know, you could use them still. Smash brought them back in terms of being major. Rival Turf, I like my beat 'em ups, and while Rival Turf is not like the biggest or bestest, you know, like beat 'em up game like a Final Fight or whatever, I have like you know it's a game that I have a lot of remembrance of, a lot of nostalgia for, because I grew up playing this game, and it's probably one of the ones I've played the most. And I like the music and the characters and the world kind of is cool. I never really got to like the second or third game though, which is really weird because they did localize them as like Brawling Brothers and other stuff like the series. I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it's called in Japan, but they localized all 3 games here as all different freaking crap. Did I miss something? That's Mega Man, right? That's Mega Man. Okay, Sunset Riders, one of my most favorite Super Nintendo games. Konami shoot 'em up game. Like, it's basically Contra, but in the Old West. Cool characters and setting. Gets really hard later on. I used to always play this with my cousin growing up. I had to get this back in my collection when I ended up getting another Super Nintendo collection, because the collection you're seeing right now is not my original Super Nintendo collection. I used to have another collection years ago, and I sold it like an idiot. But yeah, I had to make sure this was on my list of games to get back, because it's freaking awesome. Got some Captain Commando. That's another beat-em-up game. Capcom, that's Captain Commando. Their old, original, you know, iconic character, their mascot, before Mega Man got involved. And, you know, it's a beat 'em up, and you beat people up, and you have cool powers, and obviously right there, that is Captain Commando. And he should be brought back. It's kind of weird how he was relevant, like, back in the day, and was used, like, in the original Marvel vs. Capcom, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and we get to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He's nowhere to be found, and they have nothing to use him for anymore. We got Tetris Attack, basically a puzzle block type game. For those who have actually played, the Pokemon Puzzle League and Puzzle Challenge games, this is basically the same type of gameplay, like switching the blocks. It's a Tetris-like game, but not exact. Fun puzzle game. Like I said, I like myself some fun puzzle games. Super Double Dragon. Cool beat-em-up game. Like, the Double Dragon series is a classic beat-em-up franchise. I have not played it as much as other people have played it, and I've not played as much as, say, like a Final Fight or Rival Turf or any other like beat 'em up game. But I do like me some Double Dragon. It is a fun game, and it's good multiplayer. So, Billy and Jimmy Lee. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Would always rent this game when I was growing up, play it with my cousin. It was a fantastic game. When I got a chance to find it at Play and Trade, I made sure to buy it. It's one of the few games I have now in my Super Nintendo collection that comes with the little thing, the sleeve to stick it in. It's a classic, Mario platforming game. One of the first times Yoshi became really major, and Baby Mario, and a lot of people will remember his whining and crying and annoying your ears. Yeah, it was freaking annoying. Oh, jeez. Make sure you don't lose him, or you're gonna get insane. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time. Fun. Yeah, look at that price. Yeah, I got it for cheaper than that. Because of some sales and stuff going on there. But yeah, Turtles in Time is a classic in terms of beat 'em up games in that classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from like the 80s and early 90s, that cartoon series, and cool, fun levels to play and beat up. And I wasn't a major fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day, but I remember playing. I never played this much back in the day. I think I might have played it with a friend once, or I rented it or so, but I never really played it. I used to have that fighting game, like the World Tournament type thing. I never used to have this. I only got this like within like the last year. And I had made sure as soon as I saw this, I'm like, I have to buy it and do anything in my power to get it. It is a fun beat 'em up game. Like I said, I love me some beat 'em up games. Here's the original Super Mario World. Classic game. Fun. Awesome gameplay. Everyone knows Super Mario World. I can't really say much about that because everyone knows it. And then we got Tecmo Super NBA Basketball. Like a pretty fun basketball game. I'm like hearing hit and miss on basketball games, like what ones I'm actually really a fan of or anything, but like this is a pretty cool, like classic, kind of simulation based because it is a Tecmo game. Tecmo was like Tecmo Bowl and whatnot. Like it's simulation technically if you go back in the day, classic, side like sports type basketball game. Pretty cool. I got it for a pretty good deal at where did I get that? I think forgot now. I have to remember that. Star Fox, the original Star Fox, FX chip. I remember playing this game back then. I never used to own it, but I remember renting it here and there. And it's kind of interesting seeing the FX chip and like how they were able to do that stuff on the Super Nintendo on that thing. Do like 3D stuff like this, like early 3D, well pseudo 3D technically. It's pretty freaking cool to see how far they came with the series too, and like what they were able to do at the beginning. It's kind of uncomfortable to look at though sometimes too. Like somehow my eyes play tricks on me sometimes while I play that, like the old game like that, like games that use like the FX chip. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. Clock, cool platforming game, pretty unique and different. Crazy characters and worlds. If you've not played it, I'd recommend it. We got X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Cool beat 'em up adventure type-ish game, like beat 'em up type of situation. You can play as different members of the X-Men. Every X-Men has like their own level. You can play as Gambit, Psylocke, Beast, Wolverine, and Cyclops. They each have their own levels, and just let you know, this game is hard as hell. It's Capcom, like classic Capcom, like really fun Capcom. Disney's Aladdin, which is another Capcom game. I grew up on this game. I love this game. I didn't grow up on the Sega Genesis one, although I do have that now because of like the Retron 3. But I did grow up with this game, and I've beaten it at least 2 times, maybe more. And I played it with my cousin always back in the day. It was really fun. And it's semi-challenging when you get later on in the game. And it's a cool, good, classic Disney game. Super R-Type. Now, I never really played any of the R-Type games, and this was one of the first games I got in this collection, of my Super Nintendo collection when I got it back, because the Super Nintendo is like my 3rd Super Nintendo. I got it from a neighbor who just like, oh, you want it? Sure, have it. And then she gave me her collection, which this game was in. And it's a shoot 'em up, like, space shooter type game. Hard as hell. Like a lot of these games are pretty freaking hard. But yeah, this game, like you die, you go back, and it's like you see how challenging it was back in the day. And it was fun. But I never really played it, but I have played it since I got it. Not as much, but play it. And this will be the end of part 1 of Saturday Night Slam Masters. Classic wrestling game from Capcom. Some characters in this game should be in Street Fighter. Capcom, you can really put them in the same universe. Like Gunlock should be Gunlock, El Stingray, Scorpion, and Mike Hagar from Final Fight, and this should be in Street Fighter. But this is this is probably the game that got me into wrestling as much, because I like how it's like a fighting game, but like a fighting game in the aspect of a wrestling game where you have to beat up your opponent and still pin him in the ring and whatnot. Interesting, cool characters, awesome music, really fun game. And that's it for part 1 of my Super Nintendo collection. Stay tuned for part 2, which maybe I will be able to get done in 2 parts of my Super Nintendo collection. Please subscribe if you want to. Stay tuned for the next part. My name is Tetris and Fun, and have a lovely day. Bye.